Part 4. I Can Break the Dimensional Wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 31. The show was fantastic. Far beyond Xiaoruo's imagination. After the performance, the girls were very embarrassed to hear the praise from Xiaoruo and others. After being humble, they started their daily life of drinking tea, eating snacks, and playing cards. Fortunately, Xiaoruo recorded the performance just now with her mobile phone. Not only that, but Xiaoruo also recorded all the interesting things about the Qingyan girls when they were traveling. The reason given was to make vlogs for them. With the video material, Xiaoruo wanted to upload it. When Xiaoruo boarded the Mengzhan, he noticed that the first episode of Light Music Girl he released on the Mengzhan seemed to be very popular. Xiaoruo looked at the comment section, and found that it was full of positive comments. It seems that for nerds, the theme of girl with light music is also acceptable. It can also be seen from the comment section of Mo Station that users of Mo Station have a completely one-sided impression of Light Music Girl. I never thought that an animation without a brain-dead male lead, a middle-aged male lead, and a useless female lead could be so attractive. I'm really looking forward to the second episode. Yes, I am also looking forward to it. I really want to know what will happen when Yui Hirasawa joins the light music department. I feel that it is difficult to learn the guitar. If I can't learn it, how will I perform? I also like it very much. Japanese cute girls are super cute. How could there be such a girl? I don't know which animation company produced it. I heard that it is domestic investment and Japanese cooperation. Rising looks quite rich. Yeah, I like it too, especially Mio-chan in it. It's super cute, my heart melts. This is almost the cutest anime I've ever seen. I really want to know who the original artist is. It's really a genius. Two-dimensional female characters can be drawn so beautifully. That's right, not only in terms of image quality, some background details in this animation seem to have been inspected, the real scene of the school, clothing, and so on. It looks like a real Japanese high school girl. It's a very real animation, and the introduction says it's adapted from a real person, but I don't know if it's true. This is an animation for girls, okay. A bunch of nerds are GCK. I just like cute girls. What's wrong with being a dead house? The first episode of Qingyan Girl still has a great impact on domestic audiences. Now that they are tired of looking at the hot-blooded animation routines, Qingyan Girl pours into the hearts of the audience like a spring. Who doesn't like cute two-dimensional girls? Not to mention a cute girl with a Kyoto face. Excellent production, cute characters, coupled with the last song of the animation and the God Ed Don't Say Lazy pushed the atmosphere of the animation to its peak. Interesting. The corners of Xiaoruo's mouth curled up slightly, and then she used her private account to post a video of the girl with a light tone at my house. The content of the video is that the Qingyan girl and others are playing at their own home, and they are also filmed by themselves. Some scenes of them drinking tea and playing board games do not include themselves and Xiameng. Anyway, when Xiaoruo released Qingyan, they all marked it. It was adapted from real people and real events. Anyway, they are all daily animation characters. If people see Yui Hirasawa and others, they are not afraid of being discovered. But Qingtone seems to be quite popular, maybe it will really explode. Xiaoruo was a little puzzled. Could it be that the two-dimensional nerds are tired of watching hot-blooded animations, so they like to watch cute girls and beautiful girls play music? It's also possible. Compared to the muscular guy Ola Ola, cute girls must be more popular. In addition, there is no such cute animation in the first place, so it is understandable that Light Voice Girl became popular. Xiaoruo explained in her heart. Of course, there must be more than that simple reason. Xiaoruo actually didn't understand the historical achievements and influence of Light Music Girl in her previous life, otherwise he wouldn't be so surprised. Because Light Music Girl is destined to explode. In the previous life, Light Music Girl was called the source of power in Japan, and it was a work with a ceiling of cute animation. Chingyin Girl was reported by the Japanese media as the most successful Japanese TV animation at that time in its previous life. It has produced more than 1,500 kinds of peripherals. The market size has reached 38 billion yen, and word-of-mouth business has blossomed. This is enough to show that Light Music Girl is a very successful animation. And in terms of influence, Chingyin Girl is not simply a waste of cute animation. Chingyin can be said to have driven a genre of cute animation. The status quo of the animation industry in this world is very similar to the previous life in the 2000s, there is no concept of cute animation. The mainstream is mostly passionate animation. Although the audience can see cute elements appearing in some animations, such as beautiful female animated characters, they think this character is cute, but this is only a small part. Although cute elements are elements in animation, they are in animation. It is not so popular in China, and it is only used as an embellishment for animation. In the previous life, at this time, a legendary animation company appeared, which improved Mo's modern plan and changed Mo's position in animation. The rise of Kyoto Animation. An animation company that turns decay into magic. Kyoto Animation has really produced a diamond-level classic animation of cuteness. Light Sound Girl. This is an epoch-making work. Animation can satisfy the passionate dreams of teenagers, but it can also embody all the perfect female images in people's minds. This is something that live-action movies and TV can't do, and this is the charm of cute anime. The groundbreaking of Chingyin Girl is that she is different from all previous animations with cute elements. Those animations only added cute elements to the animations with plots, while Chingyin Girl interprets cuteness. Kingyin has no main line and no plot, just 5 girls go to school together, form a band, and then drink tea, chat, eat cakes, fish in the music room every day, without doing any serious business. It is plain. It's called Kingyin, but there is almost no plot to practice music. Only in the days when the school festival is approaching, I practice desperately and urgently a few times. It is an animation that is extremely realistic, and it is such an animation. There has never been an animation like this before, and no one could have imagined that such an animation would be watched by anyone. Is the animation composed of girls drinking tea and fishing together? Is it really an animation? But it is precisely because of this that Chingyin proved itself, and at the same time, Kyoto Animation also used Chingyin Girl to tell everyone the true meaning of cute animation, that is, cute girls doing cute things is something someone likes to watch. In this animation era where the decline of passionate animation has been revealed, it is obvious that cute animations have taken advantage of the trend. Therefore, Light Music Girl is an animation destined to become popular. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 32. After there was nothing to pay attention to on the Mo station, Xiaoruo turned off the Mo station software on her phone, and then looked back at the Kingyin girls who were still at home. Seeing that the girls were almost resting after the performance, and started drinking tea and playing cards, Xiaoruo remembered Akiyama Mio's injury again. Since there is a foot injury, then the itinerary may have to be changed. Previously, Xiaoruo had packed her itinerary to the brim. Today, because of her foot injury, she has already stayed at home for a day. If this continues, then it is estimated that the rest of the itinerary will not be able to continue. Some things are better to discuss. Xiaoruo walked over slowly, and called Akiyama Mio alone again. Knowing that Xiaoruo had something to do with Akiyama Mio, the other girls played another game and didn't pay attention to this matter. Tomorrow's plan was to go to the zoo to see pandas, but since Ms. Mio Akiyama injured her foot, it seems that she has to cancel it. You can stay at home for another day tomorrow, Xiaoruo said with some regret. Akiyama Mio didn't expect that Xiaoruo would end tomorrow's plan. Obviously Wei and the others all wanted to go to the zoo to see pandas, How could they interrupt this trip because of their own reasons? I heard that Syoruo-jun's tickets were all booked. No. Akiyama Mio didn't want her injury to affect everyone's schedule, so she shook her head resolutely. My foot is just sprained. It doesn't hurt anymore. It will be fine tomorrow. I can go with everyone. Please don't mind me. Syoruo carefully looked into Akiyama Mio's eyes. Really? You don't feel any pain anymore, and it should be only temporarily. If you walk, it will probably be very uncomfortable. There is no need to endure it like this. If it hurts, you have to say it. Come out. I'm really fine, thank you Syoruo-jun for your concern. Syoruo-jun's words of concern actually moved Akiyama Mio a little. Alright. Syoruo looked at the scene and smiled. It's okay to go, I can carry Ms. Akiyama Mio on my back. Anyway, Ms. Akiyama Mio is not heavy. This doesn't work either. Akiyama Mio refused loudly, and her face turned reddish, as if she was thinking about the last time Syoruo carried her down the mountain. How could she keep being carried by others, and she was not a boyfriend or something? Ha ha ha, I'm just kidding. Syoruo has actually seen Akiyama Mio's injury, it is not very serious, and she has given medicine, so there is no serious problem. As she said, it will be better tomorrow. But it's okay to walk for a short distance. If you walk a longer distance, it will be very uncomfortable and it will be difficult to persist. In this case, if Ms. Akiyama Mio feels that it will affect everyone and insists on going, then I can still find a way. Syoruo touched her chin and said. What way? Akiyama Mio glanced at Syoruo, she really couldn't think of any good way. Syoruo glanced at Akiyama Mio's ankle. I asked, the zoo we are going to rents out wheelchairs, and there are tour buses, I can rent a wheelchair for Ms. Akiyama Mio. Akiyama Mio, huh? Sprained ankle, made a wheelchair at the zoo, and was surrounded by people. Thinking of this scene, Akiyama Mio felt that she was getting nervous, and quickly waved her hand to refuse. Don't do this, it's too exaggerated, I just sprained my foot, and, if it's a wheelchair, I need someone to push it for me, it's too troublesome, otherwise we won't go out tomorrow. Looking at Akiyama Mio who refused, Syoruo was unmoved, but approached her, leaning forward slightly, looking at Akiyama Mio's dodging eyes, and said in a gentle tone. Why not? Since your feet are injured, there's nothing embarrassing about riding in a wheelchair, and you can have fun without ruining your itinerary. Let me push the wheelchair. I'm the tour guide, and you are my guests. Ms. Akiyama Mio's body is very light, and she won't get tired even if she pushes it all day. I will protect you as well as a princess. Xiaomeng watched the scene dully on the sofa. She couldn't understand Japanese before, so she only played 2 games with Japanese girls, and started playing with her mobile phone on the sofa when she felt bored. But on the mobile phone, Xiaomeng didn't just play, but searched for some information about Japanese girls on the internet. She didn't know Japanese girls before, but after seeing them today, she realized that Japanese girls are really cute, a cuteness she has never seen before. This is a very strange thing. Are all Japanese girls so cute? After having this doubt, she wanted to know if it was true, what kind of real Japanese girls were like, and whether they were all so cute. Then she saw a respondent's high praise answer to Japanese girls on XX. Thank you. The person is in the United States, just off the plane. Having lived in Japan for 10 years, I am qualified to answer this question. Too many acquaintances, hidden. About Japanese girls. 1 introverted, if you praise her, she will be shy for a while. 2 be considerate, don't bring trouble and confusion to others, and ask for your opinion on everything. 3 clingy, once she recognizes you, then you are her everything. If she makes you unhappy, she will think more, for example, does Mr. XX hate me? 4 easy to be moved, Japanese boys are a bit machismo, they like to pretend to be cool and majestic. But in this case, when Japanese girls see the gentleness, kindness, understanding and good temper of Chinese boys, they will be inexplicably moved. 5. Be grateful. She will be very grateful to you for being kind to her, and will not take it for granted that you are kind to her. Go here first, and update later when you think of others. Seeing this answer, Xiaomeng felt something was wrong. Although what the answerer said seemed to be the same thing, but according to the above statement, as long as they are gentle, isn't it good for Japanese girls? Not to mention the ones who came out of the girls' school and have been soloing all the time. Then my brother is acting so gentle now, isn't it? She immediately turned off the phone, and when she turned her head, she saw the girl named Akiyama Mio talking to her brother alone. Then talk and talk. The girl's face turned tomato-colored, and the top of her head began to smoke. Xiaomeng? Akiyama Mio returned to her friends and continued to play board games, but she didn't know what she was playing, until she lost 2 games, and she slowly woke up. Akiyama Mio tilted her head, a trace of doubt appeared on her unusually cute face. What just happened? That feeling just now? That kind of mood? It's like becoming a real princess. The thinking in the head slowed down, and the beating of the heart was like a feeling of jumping out of the chest. This kind of mood and feeling was never experienced before, and it was a bit intoxicating. Very strange. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 33. The girls were still playing board games, but Xiaoruo didn't participate. While pouring tea for himself, he glanced at the musical instrument next to him, as if thinking of something. Guitar, can I borrow it? I want to try it too. Xiaoruo pointed at Pingzui's guitar, and then asked her. Sure. Xiaoruo took the guitar from Hirasawa Yui's hand, weighed the guitar, it was not very heavy, and it was easy to handle, then he made a movement of playing the guitar, and played it lightly twice. What's the matter, do you want to learn how to play the guitar? Yui Hirasawa asked curiously. Akiyama Mio also glanced at Xiaoruo curiously. I want to learn music. After all, learning a little talent will definitely be useful in the future. Xiaoruo nodded, and, I feel that boys who like to play guitar and music are very popular with girls in school. Isn't it? Wow. Such calls came from all around. It's not surprising that high school boys promote themselves to attract girls' attention. But does the tour guide want to learn guitar and go to school to flirt with girls? Pingzui looked at Xiaoruo in disbelief. No, compared to this, I can't believe that the tour guide has no girls at school. Friend. Hearing this question, Akiyama Mio on the side pricked up her ears, although she didn't know why she did it. That's right, the students in our school all like to study, and they don't have any love affairs, Xiaoruo said nonchalantly. Actually, I'm not chasing girls, I just think that learning a musical instrument will be useful in the future. The place. Then let Mio-chan teach you. I learned the guitar from Mio-chan. Hirasawa Yui suddenly pushed Akiyama Mio out. Akiyama Mio was a little at a loss, and suddenly changed the topic to herself, and she became a little nervous. Seeing Akiyama Mio's nervous expression, Xiaoruo smiled softly. I was joking with you just now, but I can actually play the guitar. Spend 3 prestige points to get guitar mastery. With the system, there is no need to learn it by yourself, but it is different from the previous ones. Learning the guitar costs more reputation than the language, and Xiaoruo doesn't know the difference. The guitar skills reappeared in Xiaoruo's brain, and they were easily mastered. Xiaoruo put her hands on the guitar strings and played a section lightly, which was the beginning of the light and floating time just now. Everyone immediately gathered around. The tour guide also knows music, so he is versatile. The next day, Sioruo took the other girls to the zoo to see the pandas, took countless photos, and heard the girls' kawaii and other cries, endlessly. During the period, I also brought Xiameng. I have never taken her out to play before, so this is just making up for it. After going crazy all day, when everyone had had enough fun, they came back satisfied. The task time passed quickly. The task of the system is also very simple. The content is to take the girls to visit scenic spots, go shopping, eat snacks, go to some small shops, and buy things. It is not too difficult. To be honest, Sioruo really feels strange getting along with these anime girls these days. After all, getting along with two-dimensional characters is very relaxed and comfortable. Sioruo could feel that they were the kind of girls who had no impurities, were pure, and were completely ideal. Playing wildly with the girls, the relationship between them has improved a lot, and they can be regarded as very good friends. That kind of relationship, and Sioruo likes quiet girls like Akiyama Mio very much, so the relationship with her is more important. Some are better than others. Originally, nothing else would happen during the game. But when she was having dinner with King Ian and others, Sioruo's sister Xiaoyu suddenly called Sioruo. Because Xiaoyu went to college in Shanghai, she was not in Tianbei City, and she could only communicate by phone. At this time, Sioruo was still taking them to eat in a restaurant, and suddenly received a call from her sister, but she didn't know what happened. "What's wrong? Didn't you watch the video you posted? The number of hits and retweets has exploded. What happened to those girls? The performance they played in our living room was so wonderful, and it was similar to the characters in the animation, and the voices are exactly the same. It's as if people from the second dimension have come to reality. They are so similar, and they are all so cute." After hearing about it, many people were attracted here. Xiaoyu's tone was a little excited. After Sioruo heard the news, she took out her mobile phone and found that the video she posted had reached the top of the ranking list. This is his private account. He has never posted a video before. Now there are 60,000 to 70,000 people who follow him. I was busy taking the girls to play for a few days, but I didn't pay attention. Oh, I didn't even notice. What's the matter with those girls? Are they the CEO of Light Music Girl? Or are they cosplayers? Why are they in our house? Basically, they are the prototypes of the protagonist in Qingyin, and they are also voice actors. They are all my friends who came to China for tourism, Sioruo explained. The names they call each other in the video are the same as in the anime, and they have the same name? Yes, their names are from the anime, but it doesn't matter. Okay, are they gone now? I have something I want you to help with. What's the matter? You are my sister. If I can help you, I will definitely help you. Sioruo guessed that the help her sister asked her to help must have something to do with King Ian's girls. Look for your friends to help shoot an advertisement to promote the advertisement of Mengjian. Now Tom and Jerry and Light Music Girl are very popular. If we use the two-dimensional character prototype as a selling point, we can promote it. Let the popularity of Mengjian rise to a certain height. There is nothing more suitable than an advertisement made by an animated real person as the protagonist. They are exactly the same as the images in the animation, let alone 5 cute girls. Please ask your friends for me. By the way, I would like to ask about the advertising fee. Sioruo pondered for a while. It's a good idea to shoot commercials, then I'll ask them first to see if they are willing. Sioruo disconnected her phone and looked at the King Ian people who were still eating. Today I ate leg of lamb again, and I saw them gnawing on a leg of lamb each. The way they ate was not a bit of a ladle-like image. Sioruo took out her mobile phone and recorded the scene. Sorry, my sister said that you are so cute, so I want to invite you to shoot a few commercials. You don't have to care about my thoughts. If you don't want to, it's okay to just refuse. Akiyama Mio and the others didn't realize it for a moment, and they didn't expect Syaruo to suddenly propose such an advertisement to them. Shooting commercials, just us? We can also shoot commercials? In China? The girls seem to have little confidence in themselves. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Zhijumiao. Chapter 34. Okay, let's discuss whether we should shoot this commercial or not. Syaruo-jun takes care of us so much. In fact, I think it's good to help him. Akiyama Mio seems to want to help Syaruo very much, but when she thinks that the advertisement she shot will be seen by so many Chinese people, her eyes start to circle shyly. Okay, I agree too. Ritsu Tanaka didn't expect that he would still have the opportunity to shoot commercials in his life. Someone asked us to shoot commercials. Is there something wrong with your vision? We are going to make a debut. Are we going to make a debut? Hirasawa Yui's tone was already trembling. It's just a commercial, it's just a commercial. Nakano Azusa seemed to want to calm down his two seniors, but he didn't know what he thought of. If you shoot a commercial, it should be broadcast, and many people will watch it. I like it very much, I want to try it. Kotobuki expressed his interest again. Afterwards, they discussed some things, found Syaruo, and agreed to shoot commercials, but they actually insisted that there is no appearance fee, which Syaruo did not expect. It's been too hard for Syaruo-jun these past few days. We didn't pay for board and lodging. This time we came to China and spent almost no money. Let's do Syaruo-jun a favor this time. There is no need for expenses. Akiyama Mio said to Syaruo. I said it's not that hard these days. Syaruo didn't continue to ask for money, since they don't want it, it's not good to force it, so it's better to give them some gifts like souvenirs. Because I don't have much time, I can't shoot any fine commercials. The old lady also understands very well, and did not design some complicated advertisements, but simple advertisements. Each girl introduces herself, and then holds a musical instrument and says something like "Welcome to Mengjian." It didn't take long, I found a studio of my father's friend, and the filming was finished in almost one afternoon. After seeing the girls finished filming, Syaruo walked over with an autograph book. Big stars, can you sign one for me? Ale, are we going to be stars now? Guide, you are really joking again. Syaruo didn't take back the autograph book. I'm not joking, I feel that you have the potential to become stars, and when you really become stars, my autograph will become precious. Okay, but none of us have practiced signing. Can you sign anything you want? My handwriting is ugly. Such an ugly signature, I'm going to die. Soon, all 5 girls signed for Syaruo, and the atmosphere was very active. After filming the commercial and returning home, everyone began to rest, and Akiyama Mio suddenly found Syaruo. Today is the last day, we will leave tomorrow, Mio Akiyama said in a slightly sad tone, but it was deeply hidden by her. There is always a banquet in the world. We will meet again when we have the opportunity. Syaruo seemed to see Akiyama Mio's reluctance, and even boldly touched her small head with her hand. Of course, it was only Syaruo's touch. If you let go. After getting along with each other for the past few days, Syaruo felt that although Mio Akiyama had a cold face, she was weak in heart and needed people's care, so Syaruo treated her like her own sister. It would be nice if I had such a sister. Akiyama Mio was not angry because of Syaruo's actions, but kept her eyes on the floor. What's the matter, is parting so sad? This is an unforgettable journey, Syaruo-jun, I am very happy with this trip, thank you. Akiyama Mio took a deep breath, and when she raised her head again, her eyes had become firm. If I go on a graduation trip, maybe I will come to play, and then, maybe I will trouble you. This sentence seems to be an agreement, or it has other meanings. Just after saying this, Akiyama Mio didn't listen to Syaruo's answer, turned around and ran away, as if her courage had been exhausted by what she said just now. Wait a moment. Syaruo hurriedly rushed to Akiyama Mio to stop her, not letting her escape like a frightened deer. What's the matter? Akiyama Mio looked at Syaruo's face that was slowly approaching, her eyes wandered, she didn't know where she was looking, and she couldn't look at Syaruo at all. Well, Syaruo thought for a while, and finally said, when you graduate, I invite you to come to China for a concert, will you come? Ah! I said, I will invite you to come to China for a concert, will you come? The second time, after hearing Syaruo's words clearly, Mio Akiyama shook his head back to normal. We can't hold a concert, relying on the band after school tea time, there is no way to hold a concert, let alone come to China, we are just a music club for our own fun. You can't drive it, it's not me, I can help you drive it, you realize your dream, I will help you complete it. I'm going to give you a big concert. Can you trust me? At this moment, Syaruo sincerely looked into Akiyama Mio's eyes. A dream? But Being stared at by Syaruo, Akiyama Mio felt her heart beating again. It's simply impossible to hold a concert for myself and the few members of the light music department, and even if I spend money to open it, it is impossible for a completely unknown Super 18th-rate campus band to have an audience, this request is impossible to agree to. The goal that was casually stated when the light music department was established before, performing in the Budokan is just a dream, how can it be really achieved? I believe in Syaruo-jun, but I really don't want to embarrass Syaruo-jun. We are not famous, and holding a concert is just embarrassing. Although she felt that Syaruo was not lying, Akiyama Mio was willing to believe him, but she was clear about the level of herself and the people in the light music department, and she didn't want to drag Syaruo down. I've said it all, give me a little trust. Syaruo firmly grabbed Akiyama Mio's wrist. I hope you don't refuse. I will pay all the travel expenses and performance fees. No matter what, I hope you can agree to my request. You are all girls with great potential. I will definitely not be wrong. Being questioned so earnestly by Syaruo, Akiyama Mio was a little at a loss, and was pulled by the wrist. She was a shy person, and at this time she was a little dizzy, and her thinking ability also declined to a certain extent. Okay. Hearing Akiyama Mio's promise, Syaruo was afraid that she would change her mind. Then we have made an agreement. Next time, I will hold a grand concert for the light music department in Hwagyo. When I call you, you must come. If Syaruo really decides to hold a concert for King Ian in Hwagyo, he is not joking, relying on the popularity of King Ian girl, if King Ian holds a concert, it will definitely be overcrowded. Akiyama Mio nodded, she didn't know what this feeling was, and then agreed inexplicably, to come to China to hold a concert. Then you go to rest first, you must be tired today, your injury is not fully healed yet. Well, good night, Syaruo-jun. Good night. At this moment, the two made a promise across the world. After parting, Syaruo found that there was an extra task in the line of her taskbar. Trigger mission, King Ian's concert. King Ian's concert, you have made an agreement with Mio Akiyama, I hope you will not break the contract and help King Ian to complete a grand concert. Reward, 10-200 reputation points. Can the mission still be triggered? It seems that getting along with the two-dimensional characters in the future requires more communication. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 35. Finally came the day when King Ian and the others left. Syaruo sent them to the airport. In fact, the parting was not too sad, everyone was still talking and laughing, talking about how happy they were this time, but the other party promised that they would definitely come again during the graduation trip. By the way, since you are leaving, I will also give you some gifts as souvenirs, Syoruo said, taking out 5 packages from the box behind her, and then sharing one for each of them. In fact, they are some local specialties, which may not be very expensive, but they are all very commemorative things, which are generally not available in Japan. Wow, the tour guide is really nice too. How can we accept such things? It's really embarrassing. The girls quickly waved their hands to refuse, but they couldn't hold back Syoruo's enthusiasm, so they accepted it. Not only these, I also brought you some good things, Syoruo said with a mysterious smile, and took out many sets of posters from the box she brought. These posters are the 2-dimensional character posters in the animation King Ian Girl. Syoruo asked someone to make them in advance, and if King Ian is released in the future, the posters will also be sold, but I made it in advance just a sample. These posters have distinct characteristics, some are cool, some are handsome, some are cute, and the quality of each poster is very high, which can be used as wallpaper. It would be great to use their posters as souvenirs for them. Hey hey hey. The moment they saw the poster, the girls made a long and tidy S sound at the same time, which instantly attracted the attention of the people around them. They took the poster in an instant and kept flipping through it. Our 2-dimensional image poster looks like it? So cute, is my 2-dimensional image so pretty? This gift is really wonderful, I like it very much. It's really touching. Why is the tour guide so good? I don't know how to thank you. I always feel that we have nothing. I want to promise myself, Yui Hirasawa said again. If not. Wei, take a good look in the mirror and see if you're worthy, Ritsu Tanaka couldn't help but sneer. The girls were very happy, they kept praising Syoruo, and then kept thanking her. It's nothing, as long as you are happy, if you are happy, I will be very happy, Syoruo said here, and paused. Looking forward to our next meeting. Well, it's agreed. We will come again during our graduation trip. At that time, we will prepare a gift for Syoruo-jun. Okay. I will come again next time. Let us treat you when the time comes. And if Syoruo-jun comes to Japan to play, you can also tell us, and we will treat you well. To be honest, they no longer regarded Syoruo as a tour guide, but as a real friend. After the two parties exchanged pleasantries, the girls also left. When Syoruo watched them enter the boarding passage, the 5 of them disappeared out of thin air, as if they had gone to another world. Did you go to the 2nd dimension? The moment they disappeared, Syoruo also received a notification from the system. Fantasy and reality mission completed, evaluation, excellent. In the previous week, you completed the task excellently, the guests who came to travel were very satisfied, you received excellent evaluation, and there may be unexpected rewards. Is the mission finally complete? Although the task is very simple, Syoruo breathed a sigh of relief when she heard that the task was completed. Immediately afterwards, Syoruo focused on the task rewards. Since it is an excellent evaluation, the rewards should not be less. But now at the airport, Syoruo didn't check the rewards immediately, but returned home, stayed in the room, and then began to check the rewards for completing the task. Sure enough, this mission gave 3 rewards. Reward 1, new animation, to be received. Reward 2, ability, the time flow rate can be changed by LV1, function, between the fantasy world and the real world, the time flow rate can be adjusted to 2:1. Reward 3, props, independent space LV1, size, 1 cubic meter. It seems that because of the excellent evaluation, there are 3 kinds of task rewards, a new animation, an ability, and a prop. Syoruo knows clearly in the new animation. As for abilities, this is the first time Syoruo has seen them, but after reading the introduction, it is not the kind of ability that acts on one's body and can improve one's strength, but an auxiliary ability. Syaruo remembered that when she went to the fantasy world of Tom and Jerry, the time flow ratio between the fantasy world and the real world was 1:1. The new ability was able to adjust the time flow and speed up the time in the fantasy world. However, this ability shows LV1, that is to say, it can be upgraded in the later stage, but now it can only be adjusted to a level of 2:1. In the future, it may have the effect of 1 day in reality and 1 year in fantasy world. Then Syaruo tried the rewarded props again. The rewarded item is an independent space, which is similar to a space ring. You can open it at will, and then place things. Syaruo tested it. As long as you touch the things in your room, you can put them in your own independent space, which is equivalent to 1 more storage space. However, this prop is also LV1, and the size is only as small as 1 cubic meter. It seems useless now, and it seems that it can grow in the future. Because the task is too simple, so you didn't give me the ability to become stronger? Syaruo said to herself, but this task is indeed a daily task, without the slightest danger. Syaruo is also very satisfied to get such a generous reward. At the same time, Syaruo opened the USB disk provided by the system before, and besides the new animation provided by the system, there was an additional folder, which was the same as the appearance of the Tom and Jerry fan animation last time. It just appeared suddenly. The name of the file is Light Music Girl Traveling in Huiguo Chapter. This time, like the previous Tom and Jerry fan animation, I am also a character in the animation, and Xiameng is also forced to enter the scene. Syaruo clicked in to take a look, and it turned out to be the theatrical version. The events of the 7 days were edited and recorded. Things like taking the Kingian girls to eat barbecue, dancing in the square, and seeing pandas were all recorded. Syaruo feels that the two-dimensional image in her animation is not bad, it is much more handsome than the one in Tom and Jerry before, and the painting style has also changed a bit, and it is even more handsome than she imagined. From the perspective of an outsider, Syaruo watched the theatrical version once. The editing is very good and the plot is also very substantial. The only downside is that although the protagonists are still girls with soft voices, their own presence as a supporting role is simply scary. Fortunately, it has maintained Kingian's usual cute style, and it is not much different from the original theater version. Even the location is in Huiguo, which is more friendly to Huiguo audiences. Maybe the audience will like this version even more. In addition, there is also a plot for filming advertisements for Mengjian, and there is a realistic background in an animation, which seems to be more exciting. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 36. Syaruo is quite satisfied with the plot of the animation. Especially where she interacts with Akiyama Mio, Syaruo believes that if she is a Kingian fan, seeing this plot, she will probably want to kill this person. But fortunately, I controlled my rhythm well, and nothing major happened, but I made an agreement with Akiyama Mio at night. The plot of preparing to hold a concert for Kingian also appeared in the play. The Promise of the Night. With the enigmatic soft BGM that I don't know who played it, and the hero and heroine's plain makeup under the moonlight, it always feels like special effects have been added. In line with Syaruo's firm words, I will help you realize your dreams. Plus Akiyama Mio's answer, I believe in you. The atmosphere reached a climax in an instant. This plot is really amazing, unexpected, and touching. It's really good, maybe the box office will be very good. Syaruo is no longer clear whether this animation, which focuses on a girl with a light tone who travels to China, is considered a doujin animation. Wait a minute, Syaruo suddenly found that in an animation shot, there was a bracelet on Akiyama Mio's wrist. Although this bracelet was animated, it still looked familiar. Isn't this bracelet the one that my mother took out that day? How did it end up in Akiyama Mayo's hand? The corners of Syaruo's mouth twitched. After thinking about it for a while, he could guess a rough idea. Forget it, I won't think about this kind of thing anymore. Anyway, it will take a while until the girl from Kingian comes again. Afterwards, Syaruo opened the men website again, and then watched the animation of Kingian Girl, which is different from ordinary news shows. Syaruo did not release one episode a week, but one episode every 2 days. At this time, the popularity is already very high up. Although there are many episodes, it still has rave reviews, with high ratings and clicks. It is now the first in the new series list, and looking at other series, it seems that there is no special dark horse. By the way, I don't know what happened to the video I posted. Syaruo opened her account, and watched the videos of the performances of Kingian girls at her home, as well as some videos of playing. Sure enough, the comment section exploded. Is this a cosplay? This is a cosplay, this must be a cosplay, how could there be such a similar person? It's really the real version of Mio-chan Yui-chan, Oslo, the performance is as exciting as in the animation, and the girls are as cute as in the animation. It is said that the animation is adapted from a real person. I didn't believe it at first, but now I believe it a little bit. It turns out that there are such angels in the world. This is too powerful. Is it true that the plots in the animation are real, and there is really a light music department in this world? Is this what you care about? No one has noticed the title like me. Light Tone Girl is at my house. Who is the I in this title? Whose home is the Light Tone Girl now? I am so envious gone. Yeah, I want to see those angels with my own eyes. Looking at these comments, Syaruo found it interesting at first, but after reading too much, it became meaningless. That is to say, there are only Kingian girls now. If there are more animation characters appearing in the future, I don't know what will happen. Syaruo has also thought about things like animated characters. For animation characters to come to reality, there is actually a great risk. For example, it is okay for some everyday characters to come, but they can only be cute and soy sauce. If some are vicious, powerful, and arrogant, they must never be placed in the real world. Once they are not well controlled, it will be a disaster. Fortunately, from the current point of view, without my own permission, other animated characters have no way to come to reality, and the Kingian girl and others reach reality through missions. This method also requires you to accept the mission yourself. The task cannot be performed either. The key to break the dimension is in his own hands. Syaruo is still very at ease. He has been shopping for the past few days, and he is also a little tired, but Syaruo always has a strange feeling, that is, he seems to have forgotten something. As for what I forgot and couldn't remember, it was probably not important. Syaruo went out and poured himself a cup of tea, because the brewed tea was too hot to drink immediately. While the tea was drying, he reached out and grabbed Tom, who was watching TV, and slapped him twice, ignoring Tom's dissatisfaction. The small eyes, feeling the comfort of life. What a beautiful day. But when Syaruo saw that his mother was also idle and bored watching TV, he finally realized the source of his strange feeling and what he forgot. Mom, do you know what happened to Dad in the company these days? He comes back so late every day, sometimes he doesn't come back. What happened? It seems that Dad's company has something to do these days. Either he didn't come back, or he came back very late, in the middle of the night. Syaruo's sixth sense told him that there was something unusual about this matter. When Syaruo's mother heard her son's question, her face collapsed, and she seemed to be in a bad mood. You said your dad, hey, isn't he busy with his new animation, and the last episode is almost finished? I recently found a TV station to talk about. I heard it is a hot-blooded animation called Football Elite. The TV station was very optimistic at the beginning, but I don't know why the wind direction has changed. It's changed. Why has the wind direction changed? Syoruo asked, puzzled. I don't know very well. He complained to me all day long, saying the production was good this time, but why did something go wrong, and he also said what is cute animation? I can't keep up with the times and so on. I don't understand either. Oh, maybe it's about to fail again. It's okay, isn't it normal for the animation to fail? The temperature of the tea is moderate. Syoruo couldn't help taking a sip, feeling the fragrance of the tea and the beauty of life. Syoruo still remembered that the system seemed to have issued a task to make Dad's animation fail, and she completely forgot that she did nothing this time, but the animation still seemed to fail, so it must have nothing to do with her this time. Listen to the name of the animation, Football Elite. Hot-blooded animation, or football type. Syoruo couldn't help laughing. No one knows what the national football team looks like. If you want to rely on the animation characters in the animation to explode YY, the audience may not necessarily buy it. And the hot-blooded type, ha 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 ha, the recent hot-blooded news shows made by some good production companies in Japan have been blown up by Light Music Girl, let alone My Father's Three Tricks. For it. Syoruo's smile stagnated. He quietly took out his mobile phone from his pocket, only to realize that there were more than a dozen missed calls on the mobile phone, all of which were calls from his father this morning. Not found. Call. Syoruo let out a breath, calmed down his inner emotions, and then tapped on the phone quickly. He didn't dare to make a call anymore. Dad has already noticed. Is he the culprit who made his animation fail again? At a time like this, one must not seek death head-on. Dad, think about it in a better way. We can sell the merchandise of Light Tone Girl. Since Light Tone and Tom and Jerry are so popular, we can definitely make a lot of money. Let's do it again for the money we earn. I spent all my money. Let's invest by ourselves, and use big investment to make a truly powerful Chinese manga. After sending this text message, Syoruo turned off the phone. Alas, some things, if you don't think about them, they don't happen, and life is still so beautiful. At the same time, the system beeped again. The host reputation reaches 100, meets the upgrade conditions, whether to upgrade. The reputation is obtained through the fan animation of Tom and Jerry. The reputation of the animation character Syoruo can increase by more than 10 points every day. In a week, it finally reached 100 reputation. Syoruo waited for this 100 points. Prestige has been around for a long time, and now it can finally be upgraded. Syoruo dropped the tomcat in her hand and returned to the bedroom. After confirming that the door was locked, she finally started to upgrade. Upgrade. Syoruo also wants to know what has changed after the upgrade. Ding. Congratulations to the successful upgrade of the host. All attributes of the host body add 100%. Activate talent, body of reality. Syoruo, LV1, 0/1000. At the moment of upgrading, Syoruo felt an indescribable force spreading all over her body, and she was slowly transforming her body, as if soaking in a hot spring, making her cells full of vitality, but this feeling quickly disappeared. After the upgrade was completed, Syoruo looked in the mirror and found that her body had become a lot stronger, and her figure had also improved. The chest muscles were not much bigger, but they became more obvious. There were also 8-pack abs in the lower abdomen, as if after going through a perfect workout. He tested his strength again. The wonderful experience just now and the results in the mirror told Syoruo that his body had obviously been transformed, and it must be different from usual. After testing, Syoruo found that his strength had increased, as the system said, roughly doubled, but according to the system, if it was all attributes, then the speed should also increase. He didn't expect Syoruo to have such a big change just by being promoted to one level. Feeling the strength in his body, Syoruo felt that he might not need to call a worker when he moved in the future. Syoruo was excitedly familiar with her strong body, posing in a fit posture in front of the mirror, admiring her perfect muscles. There are still some changes after the upgrade is complete. Sioruo found that her level had changed from the original LV0 to LV1, that is, from a level 0 trumpet to a level 1 trumpet, and after each upgrade, the required prestige was actually 10 times. Next time I need 1000 reputation, it seems that I will work harder in the future. And this time the upgrade system also activated a talent that looked very powerful. The only talent, Body of Reality LV1. Body of Reality LV1, you who come from the real world are different, and you who activate the Body of Reality can reduce the attack damage caused by a small part of the fantasy world. Sioruo read this talent 3 times, and then confirmed that this is a very powerful talent. The function of this talent is damage reduction in the game. If the two-dimensional world is a fantasy world, then after you travel through, any damage you cause to yourself will be reduced by your own talent. In a dangerous world, it is equivalent to a life-saving skill, but I don't know how effective it is. And this talent can still be upgraded. If your level becomes higher, maybe this talent can also be upgraded to a high level, and maybe you can completely avoid injuries. Sure enough, the function of upgrading is to activate this talent of oneself. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 37. Chapter 37. Sioruo, who has just upgraded and improved her attributes, feels that she has inexhaustible strength all over her body, and wants to go to a fantasy world to do tasks immediately. After all, compared to the usual ordinary daily life, doing tasks is quite fun and can improve your physical fitness. The system gave him a new animation reward after completing the excellent evaluation of the task before. Sioruo originally thought that he had just completed a task and planned to take a rest. He would lie at home for 2 days, watch TV and pet cats for leisure, but now since the upgrade is so comfortable, Sioruo has no heart to rest all of a sudden. Tom and Jerry is still playing, and 4 episodes a day can be played quickly. The fan animation driven by Cat and Jerry can increase his reputation by more than 10 points every day, which can be regarded as long-term income. The animation Kingying Girl is also on the rise now. When the popularity reaches a certain level, the release of Huiguo Travel Chapter is expected to gain a lot of prestige. After all, it is a theatrical version similar to Fanwai, and its effect should be stronger than that of fan animation. A lot of. Don't be in a hurry now. From this point of view, we can only see what the new animation is and which world it can lead to. Sioruo chose to receive the new animation. Ding. Receive the new animation Inuyasha / I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 38. Sioruo used the supplies bought online, so they all came by express delivery. He picked all the shops in Tianbei City, so they arrived within a day. Finally, after a large amount of supplies were stuffed into the portable space, there were still a lot left express box. Sioruo was busy with the garbage just now, so she didn't rush to deal with it, so she put it in the living room. Hey, why is there so much rubbish? After Xiaomeng went shopping with her friends and came back, what she saw were express cartons piled up in the living room. She had never seen so many boxes before, which gave her a bad feeling again. Brother, what are you going to do again? Why did you buy so many things again? The musical instrument you bought last time is still thrown upstairs. What Xiaomeng was talking about was the things my brother bought for entertaining guests last time. They were really generous and willing to spend money. Not only musical instruments, but also so many snacks and tea leaves, but I also ate a lot of snacks. The tea leaves I made it was delicious, so Xiaomeng didn't get angry anymore, since it wasn't her own money that was spent anyway. My brother always does something unexpected, which is in line with his idiot personality. Oh, it's nothing, just that I might be going to live at a friend's house for a while, so I bought some daily necessities, which I may need at that time, Let me tell you by the way, Sioruo replied. I've never heard of someone going to a friend's house to buy so many groceries. Xiaomeng couldn't help complaining, but she felt relieved when she thought that her brother didn't look like a normal person. She still had to be more tolerant to the disabled. Wait a minute, Xiaomeng realized what her brother said just now. How long are you going to go? Where? Which classmate? Why haven't I heard of it? She felt a little strange, and it was obvious that my brother had just sent off a friend in Japan, and now he was going to go to his friend's house again. Is there any connection between them? The serial problems of her own sister made Sioruo a little dizzy. She was even more troublesome than her mother. No, her mother was not troublesome at all, only her sister was troublesome. Don't ask these questions, my friend's house is quite close to here, in Tianbei City. I will come back every few days, but we may have to do some things, so it will take some time. I live in him, it's convenient there. Traveling through such unexplainable things can only be solved by fooling around. Xiaomeng's eyebrows twitched. You bought so many daily necessities in Tianbei City. She wanted to complain like this, but she didn't say it. She didn't know that her brother was fooling herself, but she just felt that his brother was very strange. Wait a minute. Xiaomeng suddenly had a bold guess. The friend you mentioned, is it a Japanese friend? Now that my brother has 5 Japanese female friends, it is possible to have a few more through the same method. Although those 5 beautiful girls have returned to Japan, there may be Japanese students staying in Tianbei City, some type of. Xiaomeng started brainstorming again. Well, it should be Japanese friends. Sioruo thought for a while. Since he was going to Japan during the Warring States period, then the friends he made would also be Japanese friends, which is no problem. What is called should be a. The expression on Xiaomeng's face is very exciting. She is going to live with a Japanese friend for a few days. If the other party is a female friend, isn't that going to live together? In this case, it is normal to buy a lot of daily necessities. It is something for my girlfriend to take care of her. The so-called should be that this kind of uncertain statement is obviously due to my brother's tweaking, so I'm sorry. But, what about Mio Akiyama? That girl is obviously interested in her brother, and she is so good. Why don't you want it? What a pity. And that girl took away that super beautiful bracelet. Isn't that bracelet for my brother's future wife? Can I come back now? Also, have you started living together since you were in high school? Horrible. It's too complicated, and I'm still too simple. Xiaomeng felt that she should not get involved too much, nor should she know too much. Some things can be left unasked and pretend not to know. She glanced at the garbage in the living room again, and frowned. So what about the daily necessities you bought? I won't let me deal with the garbage you left behind. I won't clean it up for you. By the way, I have already sent the daily necessities. As for the garbage. Sioruo took out a box of small biscuits from behind, and shouted at the sofa. Tom, help me take out the garbage and sweep the floor by the way. Sioruo threw it, and in an instant, a cat was like a shadow, and at the same time it caught the biscuit in the air, and made a salute after landing. Meow. Guaranteed to complete the task, probably should mean this. Brother, why are you bullying Tom again? It's still a kitten, why are you so cruel? Xiaomeng pouted angrily. What is bullying? What nonsense are you talking about? Sioruo looked at her sister incomprehensibly and explained patiently. We raise it, provide it with food and a place to live, and he helps me clean up. What's the problem with that? Do you think cats can eat and drink for free? Meow. Tom, who was packing up the trash cans, stuck out his little head and glanced at his master resentfully. It has already understood the surrounding situation, and the other cats raised in this community are free to eat and drink. All they need to do is show off their cuteness and be masturbated. Ignoring Tom's gaze, Sioruo turned to her sister again. They seem to have a lot of good things there. If you have something you like, I can bring you some souvenirs. Don't blame me for not thinking of you. Humph, it's not bad, you still think of me. Xiaomeng twitched her lips when she heard this, and really thought about it. Bring something, souvenirs, are they Japanese specialties? Let me think about it. You can buy everything online now. I don't seem to need anything. You can take it yourself. Xiaoruo also noticed that she asked a stupid question. It seemed that there were no special products that could be brought to girls in the Warring States period. Huh. You're right. I'll bring it to you. I don't know what's good there. I see something good. I'll bring you something special. By the way, I'm in a hurry now. Let's go, tell mom, I'll be back in 2 days, let her not worry. Xiaoruo left. And Xiaomeng looked at the back of her brother leaving, and took out a book from the handbag she had just returned from shopping. Standard Japanese. The future sister-in-law may be Japanese. I have to learn Japanese early, otherwise I won't understand if they are saying bad things about me. I don't want to be regarded as a fool. By the way, Tom, come and study with me too. Last time you couldn't even understand what Japanese girls said. It's really embarrassing. Meow. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 39. After Xiaoruo left home, she found a safe place and took out her cell phone. He has done a test. In fact, to travel to the animation world, it is not the USB flash drive that is needed, but the video of his own system and related animations. As long as there are animations, he can connect to the fantasy world. Xiaoruo clicked on the animation of Inuyasha on her mobile phone, and immediately, the system bullet box appeared again. Ding! With the entrance to the fantasy world of Inuyasha, the flow of time can be adjusted and can be entered. Do you want to enter? This time, Xiaoruo didn't hesitate. After adjusting the time flow rate to the maximum that he could adjust to 2:1 with the real world, he chose to enter instantly after making all preparations. Enter. With a familiar feeling, a white vortex enveloped Xiaoruo, and the feeling of time travel reappeared. When you open your eyes, it's a new world. The first thing that appeared in front of my eyes was a piece of green, lush, I don't know how vast the forest is, and there are a few butterflies shining in the sun around Xiaoruo, circling him. What a beautiful butterfly! Xiaoruo stretched out her hand to grab it, but the butterfly flew away quickly. There are clear and crisp birdsong in my ears, surrounded by tall trees that are very old and hard to see in the city. Looking at the sky, it seems that it is still noon, when the sun is at its maximum. It's here. It's exactly as I thought. There is a high probability of appearing in the wild after crossing over, and I'm lucky. It's not at night now, otherwise I have to go back first. Xiaoruo looked around, but did not find any creatures that could threaten her for the time being. After all, it was a strange world, so she had to be more careful. Since it was in the wild props she had prepared could also be used. He looked up at the sun was very big at noon. Under such a big sun, it gave Xiaoruo a feeling that it was impossible for a monster to appear at this time. It's a bit overthinking. The monsters in this world are not afraid of the sun. The first task now is to find the human village. Although there are no clues now, it is impossible for me to stay in the wild all the time. At this time, finding the human village is the first goal. It is better to get information and residences from the human village than to wander around like a bored fly in the wild. Too much. Just as Xiaoruo was thinking this way, the system suddenly issued a task. Ding! Fantasy World Mission released, Demon Elimination. Exorcism. As a young man from modern times, when you see this era of rampant monsters, You feel endless anger in your heart. Let you, as a human being, destroy a big monster that has done a lot of evil? He, the system baby is joking again. Isn't this kind of mission asking me to die? It seemed that the system had miscalculated its own strength again. Syoruo directly ignored the task released by the system just now. He didn't even see a monster, and he was still angry. As for the big monster, please excuse me. Sure enough, we still have to find a human village first. There were indeed no monsters in broad daylight, and the weather was always fine. After searching for about an hour, Syoruo finally walked out of the forest. After leaving the forest, he was lucky enough to see a road. It seemed that people often walked by it. Follow this road and you will soon find the village. Syoruo walked slowly along the road, and soon, Syoruo saw patches of farmland. With farmland, the village was not far away. Coincidentally, Syoruo saw two middle-aged men who were farming. These two people were not tall, dry and thin, looked malnourished, wore very worn clothes with patches on them, and were plowing the land with hoes. They looked like ordinary people farming. After all, it was an era of war, and there were too many such civilians. Just like in the animation, the painting styles of ordinary civilians are not very good looking, and it is completely different from the noble sons among monsters and the handsome mages with high status. Uncle, do you know where the nearest village is? Syoruo asked immediately. Seeing Syoruo coming over to ask for directions, the two commoner uncles were a little surprised and flinched. From the boy's pale skin and peculiar clothes, they could tell that the young man in front of him was probably the young master of a nobleman. The village, follow this direction, and you will be there in a while, a civilian said cautiously, pointing in one direction. That's right, thank you so much, Syoruo thought for a while, and then asked another question, excuse me, uncle, are there many monsters around here? Oh, monsters, there are no monsters these days. Another shorter civilian uncle sighed. However, it has gotten better recently. I heard that there is a powerful wandering priestess nearby who helped everyone drive out many monsters. Many monsters were too scared to come out after hearing her reputation. Which, Syoruo's eyes lit up, and the key information came now. May I ask which priestess is the priestess who has been helping everyone? Don't you know? Of course it's Kikyo-sama. Yes, I heard that Mr. Kikyo is a good person, with strong spiritual power, he can deal with any monsters, and he is kind. In this way, the two uncles started chatting with Syoruo. The witch Kikyo should be the Kikyo in the animation, but didn't she die in the plot? Could it be that the era of time travel is wrong? Syoruo remembers the memories of Kikyo in the animation, there is a memory of her wandering at that time. At that time, Kikyo hadn't got the Jade of the Four Souls yet, she was just an ordinary witch, not the guardian of the Jade of the Four Souls. Syoruo has roughly grasped the timeline she travels through, so she can save herself a lot of things. Then thank you two uncles. After thanking Syoruo politely, she began to walk towards the village. However, at the moment Syoruo walked, there seemed to be a black shadow swimming in the surrounding rice fields. Syoruo was thinking while walking. Kikyo is roaming nearby, so if this is the case, it would be great if you can find Kikyo. Syoruo has not forgotten the purpose of her time travel, not only the mission, but also interacting with the characters in the plot, and then completing the animation to gain prestige. If you want to accomplish your goal, finding Kikyo has become a top priority. Suddenly, Syoruo felt that the sky was getting dark, and it was raining, and some rainwater dripped on the top of her head. It's a fine sunny day, why is it raining suddenly? Syoruo, who noticed the abnormality, raised her head, but Syoruo's face turned pale as soon as she raised her head. Close to the top of his head was a very pale female face. Her black hair was several meters long, and the huge black hair was spread out, covering the sunlight above Syoruo's head, which gave him a feeling that the sky was getting darker. Feel. This is a monster, and it is also a monster that Syaruo has seen in the animation, and it is very impressive. Centipede witch. The upper body is a woman's body, and the lower body is like a centipede. There are dense arms on both sides of the body, which can fly in the air. It is so powerful that it once killed a horse in a village. As for the rain, it was simply the saliva of that monster. This monster appeared silently. Syaruo didn't even know how long this monster had been flying above her head. This terrifying feeling was really exciting enough. I like eating white and tender young people the most. After waiting for so long, I finally saw a good-looking one. The centipede temptress greedily looked at Syaruo's face, and couldn't help sticking out her tongue. Her tongue was completely different from a human's, and it quickly stretched to about half a meter, wanting to lick Syaruo's face. Looking at this horrifying scene, Syaruo's face remained unchanged. "Excuse me." After Syaruo finished saying this with a blank face, she threw herself on the ground, and quickly used a wild donkey to roll into the rice field below the road. "Humph, I want to run." The centipede woman laughed. She thought this human being was so cute and silly. Although it rolled on the ground very fast, could it be faster than monsters? Huh. The centipede witch found that the human had gone to the rice field, and there was no sound anymore. She went over to check and found that the human boy had really disappeared, as if disappeared out of thin air, even the smell was gone. How is it possible? It actually disappeared? Now, returning to the real world, Syaruo took out a bottle of Coke from her portable space and took a sip. Scared me. Quickly take a sip of Coca-Cola to suppress the shock. I can break the dimensional wall. Author, Zhou Jumiao. Chapter 40. To be honest, Syaruo was a little scared when the centipede witch appeared above her head just now. However, maybe because of the doubling of the physical attributes rewarded by the system, Syaruo's psychological quality seems to have improved a lot, and he didn't have the embarrassment of being frightened and his legs limp. However, if the monster is scary, it is still a little scary. Even if he retreats from the body now, his heart is still beating. Go again next time, be steady, that monster might squat on me for a day, I'd better go home first. Syaruo calmed down after drinking a bottle of Coke. The first time I explored Inuyasha's fantasy world, it was over in less than half a day. According to the ratio of the real world to the fantasy world, Syaruo didn't even leave for 2 hours. At this time, Xiaomeng was lying on the sofa at home dangling her calf and playing with her mobile phone. When she heard the door opening, she was still a little strange when she saw her brother come back so soon. It's only been an hour and a half since I went out. Even if I just go to my girlfriend's house to sit down and have a cup of tea, it's not so fast. Does it take time to go back and forth? Didn't you go to your friend's place? Why did you come back so soon? Syaruo was a little embarrassed to hear this question. Why did you come back so soon? It can't be said that he was frightened back by the monster. He looked at his sister, Tom, who was watching TV, and the familiar furnishings in the living room at home, and suddenly felt a strange feeling. He was chased by monsters in the Warring States period just now, and now he seems to have returned to normal daily life. Something happened to that friend, and I'm not in the mood for the time being, Syaruo said, then walked to the sofa and hugged Tom, who was watching TV for a while, wanting to soothe his fragile heart that was just frightened by the monster. Little Tom, you are the cutest, let the master hug. Meow. Tom wanted to protest. He felt like a tool cat, but he couldn't resist and was beaten by the owner. What's the matter? Did something happen when you were looking for a friend? I see that you are in a bad mood. Xiaomeng was very keenly aware that her brother seemed to be different from usual, and seemed to be in a bad mood. Could it be that the other party is also a netizen, and they used to chat online, but this time the face-to-face failed? Xiaomeng started brainstorming again. Xiaomeng, You can't guess at all. What a horrible thing I saw just now. Alas, it's very scary. I'm afraid I will have nightmares tonight. Forget it, you won't understand at all. Sioruo sighed, seeing a monster with a terrifying appearance and body. It was still a bit too exciting for an ordinary person like himself, as you can see from the fact that he said scary twice. Ah! Xiaomeng couldn't help laughing. Is that an exaggeration? Sure enough, Mian-ji failed. Xiaomeng felt a little funny, but seeing her brother's downcast look made you feel a little bit dark. It made you not learn well, and you like to flirt with netizens on the internet all day long. You must have suffered. However, she was also curious about how scary that Japanese female netizen could make a person like her brother who was so strange all day long feel terror and possibly have nightmares. It always feels hard to imagine. Just relying on an idiot like my brother can scare him. Could it be that the other party is a monster? My own brother is also really strange. He has never even seen the other person's real appearance, so he is going to live with a girl, so it's good to teach him a lesson this time. Since my heart has been hit and my brother is so pitiful today, Xiaomeng will cook for me today, add 2 dishes, and cook a healing dinner for my brother, so as to comfort my brother's wounded heart. Xiaomeng was in a good mood after learning that her brother was deflated. She flexibly lay down on the sofa, sat up straight and said, although it was a healing dinner, the tone of her speech felt more celebratory. But she still really wanted to comfort her brother. After all, he was her own brother, and when she was in distress, she could only comfort her, didn't she? Well, as expected of my sister, I don't love you for nothing. Hee hee. Xiaomeng, who put on her apron, let out a heck, but she didn't refute. Xiaoruo felt that her younger sister, who was usually very contrived, seemed to be a different person today, knowing how to comfort others. That's great. After rubbing the cat for a while, and with the comfort of her sister, Xiaoruo felt that her mood was much better. The dinner was very delicious. Xiaomeng's cooking skills were very good, and the dishes cooked by Xiaomeng, who was in a good mood, were definitely at the level of a chef. It's delicious, Xiaomeng, your craftsmanship has improved again. Humph, of course, who do you think I am? It's better to stay at home, with a younger sister, TV, internet, and a cat. Why do you still go to the wilderness to hunt down monsters? In this way, Xiaoruo, who was afraid of being squatted at the crossing point by monsters, rested at home for a day, and did not go to the world of Inuyasha immediately. Touching Tom in his arms, Xiaoruo enjoyed the warm daily life, but he seemed to think of something suddenly, lifted Tom up in front of him with both hands, and then stared at Tom carefully. Meow. Tom was suddenly lifted up by the owner. His big eyes were full of doubts. At this moment he didn't know what was going to happen, and he still wanted to continue watching TV. Xiaoruo looked at Tom, the little kitten. If you were talking about monsters, Tom's abilities would not be weaker than monsters. At least Tom had a bug animation setting of immortality. Since he had no self-protection ability for the time being, if so, take Tom through time travel, and you can solve a lot of troubles for yourself. Thinking of this, Xiaoruo looked at Tom with fiery eyes. Goodoo. Feeling the owner's gaze, Tom swallowed. It already had a very ominous premonition, and always felt that something bad was about to happen. Meow. Tom yelled, wanting to show off his cuteness to see if he could pass the test. But Tom's cute Xiaoruo directly ignored it. Tom, I've been watching you for a long time. I see that you've been staying at home these days, eating and sleeping, watching TV in between, and doing nothing. I've never seen such a homely cat like you. You know? You can't go on like this. When Xiaoruo said this, she touched Tom's belly with one hand and felt it a little bit. Well, there is no symptom of obesity. Look at it, how fat you have become, your belly has grown up. Tom, cats who are too lazy are easy to get fat. Once they get fat, they will get sick. When the cholesterol is too high, they will suffer from internal injuries and suffer from heat stroke. You must have seen it when you watched TV. Experts recommend healthcare. In life, even a cat needs exercise. Tom's eyes became frightened.